Okay, let's jump right into this explainer by tackling the absolute elephant in the room, an anxiety that so many students and frankly their parents are sharing right now. You're putting in the hours, you're studying late into the night, but there's this nagging question lingering in the background, right? Will the entry-level jobs you're actually preparing for even exist by the time you graduate? Honestly, it's a terrifying prospect, but pretending it's not happening won't make it go away. So let's look at what the sources are actually saying about this. In this explainer, we're going to break down exactly how artificial intelligence is actively challenging traditional education. It's not just some minor, subtle shift. It is fundamentally changing how you need to plan your entire career path. To really wrap our heads around the problem facing young people today, we need to talk about what experts are calling the diamond-shaped organization. Look, traditionally, companies were built like a pyramid, right? You had a ton of juniors at the bottom and fewer seniors at the top. But today, we're seeing this massive, massive shift. Organizations are just slicing off those bottom-tier junior roles and handing them over to AI to boost efficiency. This leaves us with a diamond shape, a few folks at the top, a really heavy middle of experienced workers, and practically zero entry-level positions. So the big question is, how on earth are you supposed to get your foot in the door? Well, as it turns out, just gutting junior roles to save a quick buck isn't always the magic bullet that CEOs think it is. Take the real-world example of a company called Clear. Their CEO aggressively replaced around 700 human jobs with an open AI-powered chatbot. I mean, it was a huge cost-cutting move. But get this, just months later, they had to pivot and announce a massive recruitment drive to hire humans back. Why? Because the technology completely lacked human empathy. Customers were getting incredibly frustrated. They literally demanded a human in the loop. So, this brings us to section 1. Did we overdo college? When you're sitting down and evaluating your future, you're essentially standing at a crossroads between a traditional university degree and a vocational trade. And Larry Fink, the CEO of the massive financial firm BlackRock, weighed in on this recently with a pretty fascinating perspective. He pointed out that post-World War II, society essentially told every single young person that success meant going to college. We drilled it into everyone's heads. But as Fink argues, we probably overdid it. We pushed an entire generation onto the exact same academic conveyor belt, without really stopping to ask if it suited their actual skills or the realities of the future economy. So Fink is suggesting a serious rebalancing here. Instead of millions of students just piling into white-collar fields like banking, media, or law, which, let's face it, are areas where AI is heavily automating those entry-level cognitive tasks, many students would actually be way better off pursuing highly valuable, hands-on vocational trades. We're talking electricians, plumbers, welders. These are absolutely crucial, well-paying jobs rooted in the physical world. And frankly, an AI chatbot simply cannot wire a house. It's a genuine blue-collar revival. Which leads us to Section 2. The foundational knowledge mandate. But hey, let's say you do decide the university route is the right path for you. You want to go into business or maybe science. Experts like Priya Lakhani, the CEO of Century Tech, emphasize that if you want to survive in today's AI-augmented workplace, your education has to deliver on 3 crucial fronts. First, foundational knowledge. Second, applied knowledge, meaning you can actually solve real-world problems. And third, learning agility. If your schooling isn't actively building those 3 pillars, you are going to have a really tough time when you finally hit the job market. Now, what's super interesting here is the heavy emphasis on that first pillar, foundational knowledge. Because we live in an age where ChatGPT can spit out a 10-page report in 5 seconds, you might naturally think, why do I even need to memorize the basics anymore? I'll just search for it. But honestly, that is a massive trap. Foundational knowledge is absolutely mandatory. Think about it. If we outsource all of our deep thinking and basic facts to AI, we totally lose the fundamental human judgment we need to actually tell if the AI is giving us brilliant strategic advice or just completely hallucinating nonsense. And that brilliantly highlights the third pillar we mentioned, the concept of learning agility. This right here is the ultimate survival skill. Learning agility is basically the vital ability to learn how to learn. Because let's be real, the software you're training on during your freshman year, it might be completely obsolete by the time you walk across the graduation stage. You absolutely must have the mental flexibility to continuously relearn and adapt as these technologies just relentlessly evolve. Moving on to Section 3. Who are you with AI? Let's step out of the classroom for a second and into the actual office to see how this tech is being used right now. Researcher Ella Hoffermals spent years studying everyday employees, and what she found was wild. This shadow AI is already creeping into daily work, and managers often have no idea it's even happening. Employees are organically using it to brainstorm ideas, structure really complex information, polish their emails, and basically use it as a total replacement for Google. I mean, it sounds incredibly efficient, right? But it actually comes with a really hidden cost, especially for newcomers. Here's the catch. Sure, skipping over a busy senior colleague to just quietly ask a chatbot a silly question is highly efficient. But doing that actually erodes your social ties. Back in the day, having to nervously tap your colleague on the shoulder to ask how a framework operated, that was how you built relationships. It was how you found mentors. If entry-level workers just isolate themselves in a bubble with their chatbots, they are going to completely miss out on the vital human mentorship they desperately need to actually move up in their careers. So the crucial takeaway here seems to be that you need to focus your education and your early career on what humans actually do best. When you break it all down, AI is amazing at repetitive tasks, filling out forms, and basic coding. But humans, we excel at empathy, emotional intelligence, strategic direction, and out-of-the-box creative problem solving. Your goal shouldn't be to compete with a machine on speed. You'll lose. Your goal is to elevate yourself so you become a manager of these AI tools, directing them strategically. Besides, you really shouldn't blindly trust these tools anyway. Hoffermals makes a great point when she calls AI a spirited technology. It's kind of like a genie that's a bit of a trickster. It produces these really random quirks and highly confident errors, like, generating an image of a hand but giving it 6 fingers, or writing a block of code that looks perfect but has a subtle, fatal flaw. It requires an extensively trained human expert, someone with that rock-solid foundational knowledge we talked about earlier, to actually catch and correct those spirited little mistakes. And that leads us perfectly into Section 4, the human element. To really truly understand our lasting value, we have to step away from our screens for a minute and just look at the physical world. Take this amazing real-world contrast. Recently, at a tech trade show in Switzerland, they unveiled this fully autonomous robot that can perfectly pour, cook, and fold a flawless crepe. Honestly, it's an absolute marvel of engineering. But, as Priya Lahani argued, most of us don't actually want a robot making our food. We crave the chat, the warmth, the empathy, and the connection of buying our morning coffee and crepe from a real live person, like Veronica at the local crepe stand in London. And look, beyond just the sheer joy of human connection, there's a very grounded, practical reality here, too. Because eventually, that perfect Swiss robot is going to malfunction. It's going to glitch out, and when it does, and it fires scalding hot batter all over the room, who exactly is going to fix it? It takes a spirited, adaptable human problem solver to walk in, figure out what went wrong, and literally scrape the crepe off the ceiling. So, to leave you with the final, profound thought to wrap up this explainer, I want you to stop asking if AI is going to take your job. Honestly, that's just the wrong question to be asking right now. Instead, take a hard look at your education, look at the career path you're choosing, and ask yourself this: what unique, critical, human value do you bring to the table in the age of AI? Thank you so much for joining me today. Keep learning, keep adapting, and whatever you do, keep finding your unique human edge.